this is like the second time I've recorded this podcast because the first one I was just racing through and it was terrible. Hello, welcome to the Braid and Tinker podcast. My name is Melanie and this is a video cast mainly about knitting. It's actually all about knitting again. Sometimes I talk about other stuff, but I don't think that will happen today. Although today is my birthday. It is Thursday, August 1st is when this video is recorded. So yay, it's my birthday. I'm turning 39 today and it's weird because 39 sounds really, really old and I don't feel old, so it's strange, but oh well. Yes, welcome. I have not super much, but I have some content today to talk about with you. I have a finished object. Actually, I have two finished objects today. I know, who is this person? And I'll start with the first finished object. This is the Sunday Cardigan Mohair edition by Petite Knit, and it's knit out of 3 strands of mohair, and it's already caught in my nose and very sniffly and itchy. It has these kind of, what's this word? Anyway, it's like knits and pearls at the top to make this pattern. I really like that. It's very stretchy, and let me just stand up for you. I put in 3/4 length sleeves because I generally push up my sleeves anyway, so I thought why not. And I'm thinking of adding a little bit of a length to the ribbing because it feels a little bit short. But yeah, I still have some of the mohair left. I knit this out of Drops Kid Silk in the 1 color option variety in color number 20, and you need 3 balls at the same time, and I think I knit this out of 9 balls probably, but I was doing a larger size, so maybe that's gives you a clue. I ordered 11 balls because I'm an idiot, but I think in the end I needed 9. Really happy with this. It's very soft, it's very fluffy. It's also way too warm to wear when it's 40 degrees weather, which is what it was last week. Here in the Netherlands it was scorching, and yeah, but the temperature dropped back to 20, so it's I don't know, it's a bit too warm still for this, but it's also very, very comfortable, very fluffy, and I wanted to wear it for the podcast, so here we are. That's that. Now, do I have anything else to say about this? I don't think so. So, yeah, I think this is the last time I'm going to knit with something with mohair for a little bit. It's not that I don't like it, it's just that mohair is very, very fluffy and it fluffs up into your nose, and when you are knitting it, it like gets everywhere. It's like a cat, you and a cat have wrestled, and if you wear this over anything in a darker color, you look like you and a cat have been wrestling. And I don't know, I'm kind of over the mohair fluff getting caught up in my nose. So I think for now, I'm just going to leave it at this and not knit another sweater with it for a little while. I do like the fluffy effect and I think it's comfortable, and I think it's going to be very warm. So I think like something held with a mohair sweater would be very comfortable for the winter season, but I just can't bear all the fluff at the moment. So I'm putting pause on mohair for a little bit. I have another finished object. So I was knitting some blueberry waffle socks for my sister, and I have finished them. And when I say finished, I'm a big fat cheater because they have not been woven, the ends have not been woven in, and I haven't blocked them yet. I've just put them on this blocker to show you. And I also knit them really short because I was very sick of these socks and I wanted to get them off the needle. But it does mean that I have a finished object. So this was knit out of Stranded Dye Works. This dark blue is the blue rinse colorway, and this lighter blue is the glass slipper. And the glass slipper I have in a sparkly yarn, and I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up, but I do like it. And I knit this is at the top, this is the blueberry waffle pattern, which is a very simple knit and purl structure, but it makes for a very, very stretchy sock, and it's very comfortable. I have some socks for myself that I've knit with this pattern, and they are literally, I think, one of the most comfortable socks I own, because the waffle pattern just makes it very roomy and comfortable and squishy and nice. These are very short, but they, I don't know, they do come up okay-ish, I think. I don't think they're too short. Some people really like short socks, so who knows? My sister might love them. When I finished those socks, I decided I'm probably going to give sock knitting a little pause, because those socks took me almost 6 months to complete, and they're tiny and not complicated. So maybe the problem was that they were not complicated enough, and I need to knit like complicated lace patterns because that will keep me engaged and interested in actually doing the thing. I don't know, but I think I'm just going to stop knitting socks for a little bit, because I'll just start again when I don't know, when I'm interested again. And I'm just really into garment knitting at the moment, so I think I'll just stick to garments for now. Yeah, so my son has been asking for me to knit him a sweater, because he saw me knitting a bunch of sweaters for myself, and so I decided to knit him a Flax light sweater. And all it needs is an arm, a sleeve, sorry. It has one sleeve, it needs the other sleeve. So this went really fast. I think I knit this in a little over a week, and I probably would have been finished by now if I hadn't made a massive error in the pattern. You can see it's a little bit crumply here, and that's because I had to frog this part and start over, because this is actually where the ribbing used to be, because I had misread the pattern enormously. And yeah, so I think what happened, I'm not even quite sure, but what I think happened is that at some point I read 10 inches as 10 centimeters, and it was just not long enough. And so I had to frog the ribbing and start again. And I did some short row shaping for the back of the neck to make sure that the fabric at the back of the neck is high enough and that it's nice and warm and snug for him. And instead of doing the purl bumps all the way along the arms all the way down, I did because the purl bumps originally in the pattern, because you knit in the round, you just do one row of purls, one row of knitting, one row of purls, but I didn't feel like kind of keeping track and paying attention to that. So what I did was just do a all purl panel, which does make this kind of dip in here. If you do knit purl rows, you will not have this problem, but I think I can block that out, so it's not really a problem. And I kind of got sick of it, so after this bit I gave it up, but it means there's like a little patch here, and I think it gives it a nice kind of sailory military look, which I think is nice for boys. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this is turning out. Not far to go, just that one sleeve. I really like this yarn. I'm knitting this out of Drops Flora in the light grey or grey light colourway, which is colourway number 3 if you are looking for this online. So this yarn is 65% wool and 35% alpaca. So it does have those little alpaca fibres sticking out. I quite like that, but I know it's not for everybody. This fabric that it creates is so warm and squishy and nice. I'm going to knit myself another sweater, a sweater for myself with this, because I hadn't used this yarn before and I'm really into it now. But I think that knitting a flax light for a grown-up is a little bit boring. So I purchased the Spellman sweater pattern by Dragon Horde Yarn Designs, and I think I'm going to be knitting that because it has a design with like cables and bubbles, and it kind of looks like flowers all along the sleeves, and I think it will just be a little bit more interesting. It is a cropped sweater, and I'm kind of over cropped sweaters, so I don't generally make them. I think like the tenure is officially a cropped sweater, and I added considerable length to that because my torso is a bit longer than most people's torsos. So I mean, I'm a tall person already because I'm Dutch, and then I just have a long torso. So most cropped sweaters, if I would knit them as to specification, they would end up as boob tubes for me. And I'm all for body positivity and body comfort, but I don't think it's something that I would just wear on the daily, going to the supermarket, going to the office. So generally when things are like cropped sweaters, I just add some length, which is so easy to do when they are top down garments anyway. So if it's like a top down garment, it's not something I worry about. So yeah, really happy with this. I have to say the short rope shaping to add a little bit in the neck was really easy. It does seem to bulge like a little bit, but I think I can work that out when I'm blocking it. I think I just put like a little bit too much in here, and next time I need to just expand it over the ribbing a little bit more. But I think it'll work out fine with blocking, and I think it's just going to be that much more comfortable if there's like a little bit of extra fabric in the neck. My initial plan was to do rainbow stripes across the chest with leftover sock yarn, and I have so much of that, but I was knitting on this and then I don't know, I just felt that this sweater needed to be just as is and not add like a bunch of stuff to it. And I think this is so wearable now, and yeah, I do like the Drops Flora mix colour that this is giving. I don't know, really pleased with this. And so 2 weeks ago I was looking on Instagram, as I do most of the time daily, and I saw that Bird Street UK had added some yarn that I had personally had not seen it before, but I looked back into their feed and I saw that they've had it before, but it's the Leg Warmers colourway, and that came in last week, I think. So I ordered 3 of these, and I like it so much that I already cast on with this yarn. It's like a light pink with color pops into it, but it's really hard to photograph. It's really nice in real life. I think it's nice in photo as well, but it's got this special quality in real life that you can't, it's really hard to transfer into photos. But I cast on for the Populuxe cardigan, which is a pattern by Andi Satterlund, and I was inspired by the latest podcast from the Little Tailoress, and she was knitting on her second Populuxe cardigan. She had knit the first one out of a DK weight yarn, which is how the pattern specifies that you do it. But she found the fabric rather dense for a cardigan, and she was looking really for a bit more of a flowy garment. So she knit the whole thing again out of 4-ply or fingering weight yarn. And she had, let me remember this, like a peachy colour one, like a peachy pink. And I just thought it was so adorable and cute that I cast on one as well in a 4-ply yarn. So it looks like a bunch of, like a big mess really now. But yeah. I'm actually really excited about this. This is a really fun knit, and I really like this this kind of starburst pattern that goes on throughout the pattern. This is the back of the neck, so you can see this, you'll see this at the back of the neck. So I think it's going to be a very lovely, nice knit. The patterns or the garments that Andi Satterlund designs are usually very elegant and fun. So yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm having a really good time knitting on this. So I have a couple of more hours to work tomorrow, and I'll probably just be working from home, and then I have 3 weeks off from work, which is amazing. And the week after this weekend we're going to France for a couple of days for a short trip, and then after that I'm probably just gonna put my son in the bicycle and cycle to the beach all the time and not do much else, I think. So really looking forward to do some relaxing, lots of knitting, but also playing with my son and having a good time. I had some cake today, and I have been like not eating sugar, and I was doing really well, and I had some cake today, and I think the sugar is gone to my head. So yeah, this is the thing, if you stop eating sugar, it kind of loses its appeal. And like as soon as you taste something with sugar, it's like, oh, so sweet, and it gives you a headache because your body's not used to handling all that sugar. So yeah, I'm not sure if it was a good idea to eat a piece of cake today, but it's my birthday, I need to celebrate. Oh, and then I was going to a coffee place for some coffee and a grilled cheese sandwich. And it was like my newfound local coffee fun discovery. And then they're shutting it down because they are in the same building as a hairdresser's. And apparently the whole endeavour is owned by the hairdressing people. They just kind of opened up half of their space for the people from the coffee shop. And they just said, actually, we're expanding the hairdresser part of this endeavour. So the coffee is going to be just a to-go coffee type thing, and no more sandwiches and no more cake. So, and no more sitting inside and reading a little newspaper, which is so sad because there was another place that we really like to go, not super far from that, and they have been closed for months because of renovations. So, and they haven't opened yet. So I feel like all my local fun coffee places are shutting down, which is really, really annoying. But yeah, there's not much I can do about it. I'm not personally going to open a coffee place because it sounds like a lot of work, and I actually don't really know the first thing about coffee. I just make some in the morning in the way that I like it, but yeah, so it's not going to happen. But I'm really sad, and I hope somebody else is going to like open another coffee place near to me because I do love drinking coffee. Yeah, so that's it for this week. I'm trying to go on a yarn diet because I want to save money for Oslo, because in September there is the Oslo Strikke Festival, which is a knitting festival in Oslo in Norway, obviously, and there's so many awesome vendors coming. I'm just like, okay, I need to stop spending money now, because yeah, I want to buy a ton of stuff there. So, which also makes me think, oh my god, I didn't actually pay for an extra suitcase, so how am I going to bring stuff back? But I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just get some of those like space saver bags, because yarn is mostly air, right? So I can just like put stuff in a bag and squeeze out all the air and put that in my suitcase. I think that's a good idea. And the festival's only 3 days, so I don't need to like pack a million things. I'll just probably be packing like some sweaters, because yeah, obviously I'm like showing off my all my knitwear, which makes me think I've had another thought. So I'm not going to Rhinebeck this year because I'm not anywhere close. So, and I never go. So, but I know it's a very popular knitting festival, and when people go to Rhinebeck, they kind of do like a they knit a sweater that is specifically for Rhinebeck. So I do want to knit a Rhinebeck sweater as a sort of I'm not going to Rhinebeck sweater, but I'm not quite sure what I will be knitting for that. Maybe if I do that Spellman sweater and I can finish it before Rhinebeck, then that will be my Rhinebeck sweater, even though I'm not going there. So yeah, if anybody else is knitting a Rhinebeck sweater or a I'm not going to Rhinebeck sweater, yeah, let me know in the comments what you are knitting for that, because I'm really curious to see what people's choices are. I think because last year, I think everybody had the Tecumseh. It was like 50% of the people that I saw in videos and photos were wearing a Tecumseh sweater, I think, which is a Caitlin Hunter pattern. And I think a lot of people will be wearing the Soldotna crop sweater this year. I don't really, can I be honest with you? I don't really like the Soldotna crop. Most people, I know it's supposed to be a cropped sweater, but it just looks too short on most people. And then you have to like wear something underneath, or I guess it looks okay if you're a dress person. But anybody else, I would say just add some length, because you've made a crop sweater that you'll probably never wear, I think. I know people will like disagree with me, which is fine. It's the internet, that's what it's for. But yeah, I think there will be lots of Soldotnas this year. Let me know what you are going to knit for your going to Rhinebeck or not going to Rhinebeck sweater this year, and because I'm curious. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun knitting and have a good day. Bye.